Yeah, that's your chair.
I'm Carissa Van Camp Smith, and our family became associated with IAC Kids in 2017 when our twins were born at 23 weeks and 3 days.
My name is Alba, and I am the mother to Mateo, who was diagnosed at 7 months old with intramedullary spinal cord glioblastoma and PNET, and was given only a 25% chance of survival.
Their survival rate, they were given less than a 3% chance of survival when they were born. Elijah came out crying. He was the one that they said that he would have the least problems.
We were in the hospital and a group of doctors came in. And you know that when 4 or 5 doctors come in and they take a seat, that it's not going to be good news. They started by saying, well, the good news is that he doesn't have cerebral palsy, but we found a mass inside his spinal cord. And I remember looking at my husband, and both of us broke down in tears.
We were in the hospital for 132 days in the NICU with Colton. Elijah passed away when they were 12 days old. We had 12 amazing days with him. He was doing great until he wasn't, really. When they were 11 days old, he started to show signs that he was sick. There was nothing showing what was causing him to be sick. And his little body just couldn't do it. He tried really hard. He really did.
Mateo's tumor is not operable. It is intertwined inside his spinal cord, so the only way for him to be cancer-free would be if they took out his spinal cord starting at the C7, so that's your cervical, so that's right below the brainstem, and he would be bedridden and catatonic. And my husband and I decided that we would never allow him to live a life sedentary like that for our benefit.
When Colton was born, he actually took 10 minutes of chest compressions and 2 doses of epinephrine to show any signs of life. And all that jostling around made him end with a brain bleed that took up a whole half of his brain. They tried to convince us to do comfort care because the brain bleed was so substantial that his quality of life was probably going to not be very good. And I couldn't make that decision. I couldn't play God. And we chose to, as long as he was fighting, we were going to keep fighting for him. And thank God we did.
Everything is doctor appointment, meet this surgeon, what's the best thing? And then as parents, you get on Google or you get on the internet and you start looking and finding, and we couldn't find anything.
You know, as a parent, you want the best for your kids. You want to see them thrive and survive. And for us, we were just in the survival mode. We wanted our babies to survive.
My husband and I decided that the most important thing would be that one of us would stay home. And so he took FMLA, and it was, at the time, only, I think, 40% for him. And I continued work through the first round of chemotherapy. Within 2 weeks of that, I asked for leave, and my job gave me leave for the year and unpaid. And we both got to stay with our son through treatment, but the bills kept coming.
We were in the middle of moving when they were born. We literally had half of our stuff at one house and half of our stuff at another house. Then our whole world just kind of blew up.
Before we started touching our retirement, we were blessed enough to have IAC Kids come into our life and help us so that when and if we got through treatment, we weren't starting a new battle.
The extra time that IAC Kids gave our family, is there's really no word for it, because they gave us so much. They gave us the opportunity to be a family, and when you've lost so much, like as much as we have, there's no way to really put a price on that. They gave our family the gift of time.
They are non-invasive about how they help, which just means that they're genuinely helping families and they ask for nothing in return.
Their generosity and support that they gave us when we needed it the most has kind of sparked something in us to be able to give back and do more for people as well. My mom brought up blankets for me to start working on, to make Colton a few blankets, and as it kind of time passed, I kept making them, and we were handing them out to the neighbors in the NICU, and then by the end of our NICU stay, we were able to donate 130 of them to the NICU in honor of Elijah.
So Mateo just celebrated his 3rd Christmas, and he'll be celebrating his 3rd birthday at the end of this week, January 31st. And this time last year, we were celebrating a year of no chemo.
There was this one quote that I read that said, "The duration of a life isn't what matters, it's the donation of a life." And for us, we wanted, every time you hear the names Lucas, Ryan, Elijah, and Kurt, we want you to think even though their time was so brief here, they were able to do something positive. Something positive came out of their life.
Mateo every day is learning something new, and he's talking a lot, and he didn't talk for almost 2 years. So he's smiling, he's laughing. It helps us as a family realize that nothing is so burdensome that we cannot overcome as long as all of us are together and here. So every day is a day where we enjoy each other's company.
The message that I would give to all of the donors and the sponsors that are supporting IAC Kids is thank you. What you give is saving families.
We try every day to just remind both of our kids and each other how much we love each other. And that's the only cure.
If it weren't for what IAC Kids did for us, we would not be able to have kept the house that we have now that's been in my family for generations.
IAC Kids has allowed my family to stay together during the worst of times.
We definitely would not have been able to spend as much time with our kids. And when you have a child in the NICU, all the time is the most important thing that you can give them, time and love. And they took the stress out of that, and we were able to really focus on that. There's a ripple effect of kindness. When people are able to donate to IAC Kids, you're helping real people. You're helping families that would not have been able to accomplish what they've accomplished without their support. IAC Kids has given us so much, and they were there for us when we needed it the most.